Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne, and today it's Friday. I'm going to be doing or finishing the week with the last 6 stages of the Fanhome release of Build Star Wars Darth Vader. So if you remember in the last pack, and I'm going to show you this here, we were doing the armature here for the actual torso section, which is basically going to involve the shoulders up here and the hip down here. And I believe we are actually building onto this today. Now, I don't know if this is still available. I have put a link in the video description and we do have that QR code on the screen. But let's jump straight into this, see what we're doing today. Without further ado, let's get cracking. So all starts with stage 93 today. Here is the instructions. Lots of big pieces today, so I can't see this taking too long. Once again, we've got another joint to put together here, which we're going to do here. Then we're going to be attaching this to this armature that we've been making here. So it's looking like that. So here we go. Here's stage 93. Once again, everything is individually wrapped in here, so I've got to unwrap every individual item. So to start with, we've seen this plenty of times. I'm going to be taking this metal joint section, putting this into this cavity here, and I need the flat screws, which are these ones here. These are AA screws, and 4 of these to put these into place. And the reason why they're flat is because this needs to rotate. So the flat heads on them go into the indent and allow that to do that. But I'll put all 4 of these into place. Okay, that's perfect. Now, on top of these, we have got this section here now, which is going to line up with the holes that we got here. It doesn't really matter what way it goes in, because this will be able to turn. But I'm holding this in with 4 of the O screws. And obviously these are going into metal. So I have put a tiny bit of oil on these. And as you see there, that is that full joint complete. Now, what's going to happen is this is going to be exactly the same as this one that we've already installed on here. So, making sure this is going to be the right way round. And that means that this side is actually going to be towards the outside. I'm going to be putting this into place on here, just like that. Now, this is going to be held in with 2 of the F screws, just from this side. Getting them in there first. So that's in like that, and then I get to put this top on. Let's just put this one down here like that, so I can get this top on. And you can see now we've got plenty more to put in now. These are all going to be the F screws, and this is going to hold everything into place. I am finding using a PH1 screwdriver is actually better on these, because there is a lot of screws holding this in. So basically that's all the joints held in. I'm just going to hold the covers in. So I've got a couple of screws to put in here, one this side. Need a long shaft screwdriver to get that one in. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So turn it over, and you see I've got one here as well. And there you go. With that in place, that is all there is to do in that stage. So stage 94, I'm guessing this is the start of some of these big pieces now. And as you can see, we've got this ginormous piece here, and this is the waist and the abdomen. We're going to be putting this bush inside this joint section here and putting this into here. Looks like we do get to mount this on the armature we've created, so that's going to look like that. Very big piece, this one. And the first thing we want to do is we want to actually create this. What is this? This is a waist support, putting it together like this. We are going to want to put this together with some screws. So I've got some F screws here, and I believe they go in this way. Making sure I've put these in the right way. Perfect. Now this is actually going to be going into place on here, and it actually goes this way round. I'm hoping that's the right way round. I think it is. It could go the other way, like this. I don't think it matters. I'm thinking about where the screw heads are, you see. On the picture, it looks like they've got the screw heads on my left here, so I'm going to put it this way round. And once again, these F screws, we need 4 of these to hold this into place. And now we're ready to put this on the armature. So I need to make sure I've got this round the right way. So, you know what? I mean, to me, it looks identical, this side to this side. So does it matter which way round it goes? I'm going to have it, I'll put it that way. I'll put it that way. I don't think it matters. But what I am going to do is these 4 lugs that we can see here, I'm going to be putting this over the top like this. Making sure these line up. Just like that there. That's perfect. And once again, F screws to hold this into place. And we're going to need 4 of these. And this is the last one going in here. And there you go. That's all there is to do in that stage. And we're going to be building up on that in stage 95 now. So here's the instructions. You see another big bit here, and it looks like we've got an extension cable for something here. We're going to be putting this cable into this part just like this, clipping this in and then putting this just onto the other side. So that's how it's looking. I wonder what that cable's for. It's an extension cable, so perhaps it's coming from the lightsaber down the body. I don't know. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is just take off the little bands that's holding this cable together. And because it is an extension cable, it doesn't matter which side I'm using here. But what we are going to do is I'm going to be putting the cable through the hole here, so it's coming out the other side. Now this side's eventually going to be going down here, from what I understand, but it is going to go over a place for a clip to go in. And this clip is just going to be fitting in there to stop that cable going anywhere. So I'm holding that in with 2 of the F screws, which I've got in this pack. And even after putting these F screws in, this cable is going to be able to be moved. So I won't worry too much about how much I'm leaving out the side at the moment, because I can move that. But I do want to make sure that's going this way round, because when I put this on the armature, which is going on the other side here, just like this, over the top, so that it's mirrored on the bottom like that. Make sure all the lugs are going to be in where they need to go on each side. That's perfect. So we're ready now for the F screws again to hold this into place. And once again, this is 4 of these F screws. Here you go. This is the last one just going in here. Again, I'm using my PH1 screwdriver to get those nice and tight. What I'm looking for is these seams to be closed up on either side here, but that's all there is to do in that stage. See, I said we'd be racing through these, didn't I? So stage 96, here's the instructions. Another big piece here, lots of screws. We're going to be adding this to the armature, so that's how it's looking. And it looks like we've got the legs here, so we're going to be attaching the legs to this as well. This is really going to come along just like that. I think when we're at this stage, I don't think I'm going to be able to put this in a storage box anymore. I think it's going to be too big. So here's stage 96. Let's get all these out. And once again on this armature, it looks like the screw of choice is the F screw. Because what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be putting this butt section into place, looking like that. On the hole with the side, this is actually going to be fitting over the top. Let me get this right. Like that. So I am going to line up the lugs on this side and this side here. Perfect. Load up my F screw. And we've got 3 of these to get into place to keep this in. So 1 here. 1 on this side. And then just 1 right down the coccyx bone here. Just like that. Okay, that's good. Now on the top section, just here where this wire's coming out here, we've got this plate to put in, which is actually going to be going on top. And again, I'm lining up the lugs on these black supports here and here. These are going to be held in once again with F screws from this side. And basically it's 2 each side. And now I need to bring the legs up. And I need to make sure they're the right way round. So I want it this way round. This is where the butt is going to be, because you can see that through the calf. So the bend of the calves, this would be towards the back. So to put this in, I've got these 2 posts here, which are going to go onto this point just here, like this. And that's held in, once again, with the F screws. It's actually easier to do this on its side. So that's one in there. So that's these 2 screws in here. And that's basically now attached the legs to the butt section. And that is, at the moment, all there is to do in that stage. So rather than take this and put it on the floor, I think what I'll do is you think here, push that right to the back of my workstation. I think I've got room for the magazine here. As we move on to stage 97, I guess we're doing the other side of this. Here's the magazine. And we've got these sides here, which are going at the top and the bottom here. So now that's looking like that. That's really coming along, isn't it? So get stage 97 out. I can't believe we're 97 stages into this. It's not going to be too long. And this is actually going to be done now. When I first saw this, this was actually presented with the Iron Spider build. And I think this one's definitely going to finish a long time before that. What we're going to do first off is, again, put this cover just onto this side here. Making sure everything lines up on both sides. Because I am holding this in once again with the F screws. And we need 2 each side. And then just like earlier on, we're going to be putting 1 through here. And then turning the whole thing over. And just putting 1 in the other side just here. That's good. Push this back round this way. Probably best on the top camera here. I've got this to put in. And again, I'm lining up these 2 holes here with the lugs here. And then the sides as well are going in each side here and here. Pushing those into place. That should line up everything for me. And then with F screws, I'm going to be putting this into place. So that's the first one in. I do want to, before I put this one in here as well, make sure the clip right in the groin area there is into place. So they're all together, which they are now. Get the screw in here. I've got one at the top here. And then I've got the ones at each side here. Perfect. All I've got to do then is turn this over, and just at the bottom section, which I was just trying to line up a second ago. Once I've got that into place exactly where I want it, I've got a screw here which is going to hold these 2 parts together. Excellent. And with that done, that's all there is to do in that stage. And let me just give you an idea of how big this actually is at the moment. It's looking pretty good, isn't it? Okay, let's move on to the last stage. Okay, so the last stage of this pack, again, I've still got some big pieces left over. So I'm guessing we're working on that today, which is this section here, which is the chest. And basically we're going to be starting to put this on as well and putting this into place. So that is how this is going to look. Definitely not going to be able to keep this now in the storage box. Because it's a really big part, this one. So here's the chest. It's actually going to be going on kind of like here. We've got the lugs here and here going to go into the positions there. So it might be better to actually line it up from this side. I am going to make sure that this cable here is going out through here. So obviously that cable there was for everything that's going on in the helmet. And now that's lined up, I will get this into place. So 2 screws each side. And then I'll just spin this around and put the 2 on the other side. And with this last screw going into place, wow, what a pack that was. I love it when it all starts to come together like this. And it's really brilliant how much articulation this has got so far. We haven't even put the arms on yet. Obviously, we've got to dress this as well, but that international unit of measure is how big Darth Vader's looking at the moment. That's brilliant. Let me put that down. Well, another build, another week. Hopefully, normally back to normal scheduling next week. We'll have to see. There might not be a video on the channel on Monday because on Sunday, I'm actually at the Barbican. I'm going to see a film music show with a full orchestra composed by a guy called Dirk Bross, or Brossy. But I am looking forward to that. Anyway, I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.